For this part of the project, what I've done is I went and spent a day as a wheelchair user discovering some of the difficulties that a person with a mobility impairment has getting around. Kind of tight. My toothbrushes are all the way at the top, so I know I can't reach that. The chair itself wouldn't even fit in the bathroom. If I had to use the chair all the time, something would have to change. We would have to expand the doorway. After I got dressed and whatnot, I was able to wheel out into the hallway there, but then I had to go down the steps. My office is in the basement. Can you help me down these steps? Or Megan can, I guess.
I'm done.
The way that the kids related to me was different, mostly because of how active we are. In Dayton, Ohio, the area itself is pretty spread out, typical Midwestern town. Most people drive, so for the impact for me, as a wheelchair user, I would end up, well, two things. One, I'd probably have to get a different car because I drive a truck right now, and so getting in and out of the truck was difficult. But more than that, I would have to go to some place where they install hand controls. And the hand controls the simple ones are a knob that they put on a steering wheel that you can steer with one hand, and then they have a brake and accelerator on the other hand. In order to use the hand controls, you have to take a driver's education type of class all over again, which is about $700 and some. And then the controls themselves are a couple $1,000s to get installed. We decided to go to Dairy Queen just to kind of see, what it would be like. And I don't think the person inside even noticed me at first.
Can you get up there?
No. I think I'll just... No, I don't think it wouldn't be very easy to get up there. Yeah, I don't know how I would. I'd just sit here. It's not the end of the world by any means. Those kinds of things, over and over again throughout your day, would become extremely frustrating. From a psychological, emotional perspective, I guess, it's just difficult to have people looking down at you all day. Not that people are trying to be condescending in any way, it's just the reality of it. And I think that would be something that you'd have to get used to, and I would imagine that some people get used to that. Maybe they don't. There's this physical barrier there that causes other barriers and in other ways would cause you to not be able to interact with other people as easily. The huge impact, of course, would be just on my contribution to the chores around the house and some of those kinds of things. My wife would have to pick up all of that. I think we become much more reliant on others, which is difficult, I think, for any man especially, maybe, to experience that. I would imagine that some of the playing catch and playing basketball and those kinds of things would probably diminish. The impact of using the chair to get around was quite surprising, I think even more than what we would expect. Obviously you expect to have some changes, but even little things like being able to reach the toothbrush, in the bathroom, or having to reach up to be able to rinse a dish out, some of those kinds of things. This is way harder than it looks. Another lesson learned from an engineer's perspective is that you don't really know your users if you just talk with them or if you just observe. Now, I'm no expert, of course, after using a wheelchair for a day to get around, but it would clearly affect my perspective on how technology would be designed. And I think anyone who is thinking about designing technology for the disabled community in any way, any assistive technology, should try to immerse themselves in the environment for a short period of time anyway, just to try to understand what are the barriers and actually experience the barriers themselves rather than just make observations.